A small, quick, and unexpected movement. The camera caught it, and from that moment, everything changed. It didn't take long for the video clip to spread like wildfire. Fans replayed it over and over, slowing down each second, trying to understand what had happened on stage that night. Taehyung, with an unreadable expression, suddenly did something to Jungkook, something unusual, even for those who had long followed their relationship. Jungkook, who usually seemed relaxed and confident, seemed slightly taken aback. His reaction was quick, almost reflexive, but enough to make anyone wonder. Was it spontaneous? Or was it something that had been building up for a long time and finally emerged at an unexpected moment? The stage wasn't just a performance space. It was a space where every movement had meaning, every interaction could be symbolic. And when two figures as significant as Taehyung and Jungkook engage in even the smallest moment, the world immediately took notice. Some fans believed it was just a joke, a small, ordinary thing happening between them, something they might not even realize would become so big. But others felt something was different this time. A glance, a split-second pause, and body language that couldn't be fully explained. Speculation arose. Some said it was a sign of attention. Others considered it a signal, a hidden message that only those who truly understood the relationship behind the scenes could understand. Behind the lights and cameras, their lives were not as simple as they appeared. Busy schedules, global pressure, and high expectations often made small moments seem far more meaningful. Perhaps what was seen on stage was just the tip of something far more complex. Yet, intriguingly, there was no clarification. No official explanation. It was as if the moment was left to live on its own, evolving among fans' interpretations. And that's precisely where its power lay. The video continued to play. Every angle was analyzed. Even the slightest hand movement became the subject of lengthy discussions. Did Taehyung do it on purpose? Or was it just a coincidence magnified by the camera angle? Meanwhile, Jungkook continued his performance as usual. Professional, focused, and still captivating. But to those who looked closely, there was something different in his expression after the incident. Something difficult to explain, but it felt real. Some fans began to connect this moment to previous events. Pieces of old interactions resurfaced, fitting together like a puzzle, trying to piece together a complete story. And the more pieces they uncovered, the deeper the mystery deepened. But on the other hand, others tried to calm the situation. They reminded everyone that not everything has to have a grand meaning. Sometimes, a moment is just a moment, brief, spontaneous, and not worth overanalyzing. But when emotions are involved, logic often takes a back seat. And in a world filled with love and dedication like this, every detail matters. Every second can mean something. What made this situation even more intriguing was the different reactions from different parts of the world. Some laughed, some were confused, and still others were completely speechless, trying to process what they had just witnessed. Over time, the moment didn't fade. Instead, it only grew stronger. The more people talked about it, the more theories emerged. And each theory brought a new perspective, complicating the whole thing. Was this just a coincidence magnified by the camera? Or was it a rare moment that accidentally revealed something that had been hidden all along? No one really knows. They may not even realize the impact of what happened on stage that night. But one thing is certain, that moment left a mark. A mark not only captured on video, but also in the minds and hearts of fans. A small mystery that lives on, talked about, and remembered. And perhaps it was precisely because there was no definitive answer that the moment was so powerful. It opened up space for imagination, for interpretation, and for a curiosity that could never truly be satisfied. In a world filled with grand performances and spectacular moments, sometimes it's the little things that are the most memorable. And that night, under the bright lights of the stage, a fleeting second captured the world's attention. We may never know what really happened, but one thing is clear, that moment was no mere coincidence. And to this day, the question still lingers. What exactly happened between them that moment? Since then, each subsequent performance has felt different to fans who still ponder the incident. Even small interactions previously taken for granted are now analyzed more deeply. A smile, the distance between their feet, even the direction of their gaze, all seem to hold hidden meanings waiting to be unraveled. Some fans have begun to notice patterns. They compare Taehyung and Jungkook's body language from various concerts, trying to find common threads that might lead to answers. Some feel their relationship seems warmer than usual, while others see a subtle tension that's hard to explain. On social media, the discussion never stops. Video clips are constantly re-edited, zoomed in, and even slowed down until the smallest details are clear. Every movement is questioned. Every expression is analyzed. It's as if everyone is trying to solve the same puzzle, but with different answers. But amidst all the speculation, one thing remains intriguing. No one can truly confirm the truth. It's all based on perception. What one person sees can be completely different from what another perceives. And that's where the mystery deepens. Some fans who have been with them for a while try to offer a calmer perspective. They remind them that the members' relationship has been through so much together. Rigorous training, long journeys, and countless emotional moments. Perhaps what's seen is just a reflection of that closeness. Still, something about that moment felt different. The way Taehyung moved, the impeccable timing, and Jungkook's unusual reaction all created a combination that was hard to ignore. Time passes, but the shadow of that moment never truly fades. Even for those who try to forget, the video clip occasionally resurfaces, as if reminding us that something remains unanswered. And perhaps that's what makes it so enduring. Not because of what was seen, but because of what wasn't. Not because of the answer, but because of the question. Eventually, the stage was empty again. The lights had gone down, and the music had stopped. But the story born from that one fleeting moment still lives on. Talked about, debated, and felt by millions around the world. And perhaps beneath all this, the true answer was never meant to be found. Because sometimes, small mysteries like this are part of the beauty, something that keeps us watching, asking questions, and feeling connected to them, even from a distance. Over time, the moment became a kind of mini legend among fans. No longer just a video clip, but a symbol of something larger, something that can't be fully explained in words. Every time it's discussed, a new perspective emerges. Some are beginning to question whether the camera truly captured the whole story. What if there's context missing? What if what we see is just a small part of a much more complex interaction? These questions only deepen our curiosity. On the other hand, some are beginning to see this moment as a reflection of real human dynamics. That behind all the spotlight and popularity, there are still individuals with emotions, spontaneous reactions, and relationships that continue to evolve over time. Interestingly, the more people try to explain it, the harder it is to reach a common conclusion. Each interpretation seems plausible in its own way, but none can truly claim absolute truth. Some fans even claimed that the moment made them see the relationships between the members in a different light. Deeper, more emotional, and more human. It was as if the thin curtain that had separated the stage from reality had been lifted, if only for a moment. But precisely because of this, debate also arose. Was it appropriate to interpret such a fleeting moment so much? Or should it be left as part of the performance without being burdened with excessive meaning? Amidst it all, one thing remained consistent, a fascination that never truly faded. Even those who initially didn't pay much attention eventually became involved after seeing how profound the event's impact was. And without realizing it, the moment had become part of a small history that continues to be retold. From one fan to another, from one platform to another, always with the same curiosity. In the end, perhaps it wasn't about what actually happened, but about how that 1 second on stage could create so many feelings, so many stories, and so many possibilities that were never truly finished being discussed. As time passed, the moment began to merge with other memories, but it never truly disappeared. It's like a faint shadow that keeps following, reappearing at unexpected moments, reminding everyone of that one moment that once changed the way they saw everything. Some fans are even beginning to feel that perhaps this mystery wasn't meant to be solved, that its beauty lies in the uncertainty itself, in the empty space that can be filled with endless possibilities. Others believe that things like this are part of the reason why the connection between idol and fan feels so strong. Because it's not just about what's shown, but also about what's felt, interpreted, and imagined together. Every time the video reappears on timelines, the same reactions repeat themselves. Hearts pound, curiosity is aroused, and discussions reignite. It's as if time is turning back, bringing everyone back to that moment, again and again. Interestingly, even after all this time, there's no sign that curiosity will subside. Instead, it's blossoming into something bigger, a small phenomenon that lives on in a vast community. Some are beginning to see it as a reminder that not everything needs to be explained, that sometimes a moment can have value precisely because it's not fully understood. Because that's where emotions come into play, free from the constraints of logic. On the other hand, there are those who remain steadfastly searching for answers. They keep observing, comparing, and trying to understand what might be hidden behind that brief interaction. And even if they haven't found any certainty, the journey itself has become part of the experience. Perhaps, without realizing it, that moment has created something more than mere speculation. It's created connections between fans, between stories, and between feelings that are difficult to explain yet so real. And in the end, amidst all the unanswered questions, one thing remains clear. That moment has left a lasting mark. A small second on stage that somehow managed to become immortalized in the memories of many.